All right, what's going on everybody? My name is Andrew Robinson. Today we're gonna be talking about my favorite personal gear to use during a music video shoot. But I got two rules today. So number one, we can't talk about cameras at all. And number two, we can't talk about lenses at all. So I think there's way too many videos with that. I'm looking for other stuff that I personally use on every single shoot that I wouldn't leave home without. This video, all the audio is being recorded to a Rode Smartlav. It's going actually directly to my phone, so after we're done with this video, we'll shoot it to the computer and then we can put it in post. We'll see how it sounds. All right, so starting with one of my personal favorite pieces of gear is the trusty reflector. This thing is super useful if you have a bright sun from the back of your subject and you want to toss a lot of that light to their front. There's no way that you can bring in any other lights that's going to compensate for the power of the sun. Reflector is the number one way to go. The light is beautiful. Obviously, it's coming from the sun. It's the highest quality light you could possibly get. I've used this thing countless times on video shoots. Super useful. Never leave home without it. Let's awkwardly put this away. All right, next up on my list is fog. I just use a little party DJ fog machine. So when you fill a room with fog, you diffuse a lot of the light. You create a lot of very soft looking light. It's a very cinematic look, but it also creates a lot less contrast that I personally really like using in the grade. If I don't have an outlet or if I have no way to get the fog reasonably to a location, another thing that I'll use is atmosphere. It's a haze in a can, pretty much. You spray into your shot wherever you need it. It creates a lot of those rays that you see like pouring through like a dusty room window. It's very, very beautiful, but worth every penny. It's 12 bucks a can. These things are awesome. All right, next up on my list is my trusty Glidecam. This is the Glidecam HD2000. Use this for countless shoots. I use it all the time. I put something as heavy even as a C100 on this thing and run around with it. As a bonus content here, this little attachment is an Aerosol X1. Basically, normally when you use a Glidecam, you have to hold all the weight with one arm and then use the other arm to, do micro adjustments. With this thing, you can support a lot of the weight on your other hand as well. So now you have your two arms supporting instead of just the one, and then you can make the micro adjustments here. This allows you to hold it for a lot longer and take out a lot of the little micro jitters you might get if you're holding it for a long time. So this is like a must-have with any kind of Glidecam, just in my opinion. But I use the Glidecam for countless shoots if you have really like a long take, if you're trying to follow somebody, if you're trying to chase somebody. The reason I would prefer the Glidecam over something like a gimbal, they both have their uses of course, but I prefer the Glidecam. No batteries, there's really a low setup time. I have a quick release plate on here so you can pop the camera in and off of it really, really quick. If you want to switch to handheld and then go back to a Glidecam for the next shot, very, very useful. Glidecams are cool. Next on the list is a slider. This one is a Rhino Slider, also with a flywheel attachment. This will allow you, if I have a long lens and I want to do a really cool like parallax kind of shot, you have to use a slider. There's no way that you can use a Glidecam or a gimbal effectively with a longer focal length lens, or if you want to do really precise movements, you have to use a slider. I love this thing. I use it almost every single shoot for something, either revealing shots or if I'm trying to show movement from one location to another, or if I'm doing a performance scene. If I have an artist who's doing a performance in front of me, I'll change it vertically and then I can go front and back and just add that little bit of movement, that little bit of calculated movement, so it's not so boring just sitting with a static shot. The flywheel captures a lot of the inertia when you do the pushes and pulls, and it takes out any of the micro shakes and overall makes a very, very smooth carriage flow. But I use this all the time. I love it. You can use it as extendable feet, so if you just want to put it on the ground, or you can mount it to a tripod. And that is a great segue into my tripod. This one's a Manfrotto. It uses Manfrotto sticks, and this is a Manfrotto 502 head. I would never ever leave home without this thing. I use it on every single shoot. If I want static shots, if I want some pans, if I want some tilts, you can even extend one of these legs or two of these legs and make like a micro jib, basically, where you push and pull. This one also has a quick release plate on top, so if you want to pop in your camera, get the shots you need, and then you take it off, you can do some handheld. If you want to move it to another piece of gear, then you can do that. Tripods or sticks have been around for ages. They stand the test of time, and I love mine as well. All right, and then the last piece of gear, it's actually been in the shot the entire time. In the back over here is LEDs, LED panels. Without capturing light, there is no video, there is no photo, so I had to give this the #1 spot. This is a Canon TV LED panel. As a bonus, if you have a Vmount battery, you can pop a Vmount onto this thing, and then you'll have a very powerful portable light that you can bring with you anywhere. These particular versions you can dial the strength. They have barn doors so you can control your light spill. You can throw gels on them to turn them different colors. I got a blue Rosco Gel on the one back there to give a little more depth and just make it look kind of cool. You can put them on light stands, you can put them on C-stands, you can have someone hold it and just move it around and add different kind of cool effects. But overall, these are my absolute number ones. Probably first purchase if I was getting into video or getting into photo or anything, is get some really good lights. I've been using these ones for quite a while, probably over a year now for these LED panels from Canon TV. There's not really a whole lot of reviews on them online, but overall it's very solid. They have a filter you can pop in if you want to change the color temperature as well. They do have the bicolor models, but it's a little bit less power. This one's the 5600K, so it's a daylight version, so it's going to give you a very powerful, every single LED bulb in here is daylight balance for 5600. So overall, this is my number one pick for gear that I use on every single shoot. All right, that's it, guys. That's my top pieces of gear. I have a ton of music videos coming up. Whoa, hey, Gray. I have a ton more music videos coming up. We're gonna be doing some vlogging kind of videos to get out of this room, get into the real world. I'll show you my process on how I do things. But overall, I appreciate the view. Thanks you guys for checking it out, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.